Alrighty, let's talk about the I can't remember when method of Neville Goddard's. Or maybe it's the I can't remember when method of Mr. 2020's. See, Neville says, you remember when she was single by imagining her married. I gotta tell you, if you really want to complicate this up, pretend it's all about the words. Right? Just ignore the other 400 lectures or so of Neville's where he keeps sharing that it's your imaginal act. It's your imaginal experience. Where you experience something to the point where it feels 100% natural. You remember when she was single by imagining her married. I can't remember what she was like single. Is the next step as far as I can tell. See, I can't remember the last time my elbows hurt. I've shared this story a couple times. Back when I moved here, and I discovered something. Australia has some really heavy firewood. One of them is red gum. Red gum is like concrete. I swear to God, it's the heaviest wood I've ever carried. My buddy Raymond, for my birthday, made me an ashtray out of it. You cannot believe how touched I am by that. And it's a win just about 2 weeks ago or so, maybe 10 days. I was looking at getting a nice cigar ashtray, but the problem is, first of all, I couldn't find one. Second of all, I look at these pieces of crap and they won't match my house, and I'm not going to spend like $50 to $100 to $200 on an ashtray that looks like crap around my house. Raymond made me one out of red gum. Right? I just got it yesterday. I'm like thrilled with this. I'll share some photos somewhere. But here's the cool thing, guys. Ready? I can't remember when my elbows hurt. When I moved here and I'm carrying in firewood, I ran into a problem. To keep the house warm, I either need Victoria to cuddle up against me. That keeps me warm, not the house. Or I got to have wood in the fireplace. And we've got a big open plan house. It's basically one big ass room, right? We do have a little kitchen, a little pantry, a little change room, a little bathroom. But essentially the house is one big room. Think 14th century France kind of big room. And it's awesome. But the problem is you need firewood to keep it warm because we've got two kinds of heat back then. Her and the fireplace. And if she's at work and I get cold, that's not fun. I'm not a fan of cold. So I'm bringing in firewood all day, right? And I'm typing all day. I'm building the kingdom. Those over 1,000 articles that you can read for free, that's where they came from. Me typing all day. They didn't just magically appear. See, I'm passionate like Neville. Neville wanted to preach the word of God, so he got up on a stage. To get there, he had to get fired from being the elevator operator. Right? He was hiding in an elevator, living in a closet, essentially, sleeping on a cot, until he got fired because he was dreaming something bigger. You see, bad things can happen to good people as a bridge. Neville was imagining preaching, and he was saying, "Which floor, sir?" That's not preaching, right? Just a wake-up call. Meanwhile, kicking the pants, as Grandpa would say. I can't remember when my elbows hurt. You see, when I remembered when my elbows hurt, I felt it in the past, to the point where I couldn't remember what the hurt felt like. When I imagined her... See, you remember when she was single by imagining her married. I imagined typing all day and feeling good about it, not trying to type all day and crying. There's a little bit of a difference there. So here's the cool thing, guys. Ready? I want you to be free. Words are very effective for teaching. They're very effective for thought transmission, right? Right, I can sing a song, do-up-a-doo-be-doo-be-doo. Right, say singing's a lot of fun, talking's a lot of fun. Poetry, coming out my nose, seeing a green hose, looking it's on a rose. See, that's a lot of fun too. But here's the thing, guys. Feeling it real is feeling it real. You remember when she was single by imagining her married. When you look at a vacant lot and you see the hotel there, I remember when this was a vacant lot. You don't walk around staring at an empty lot going, I remember when I was a vacant lot. You experience the hotel to the point where you can honestly experience, I remember when that was a vacant lot. I got a friend who's a fantastic mommy. And I can remember when she was single. I honestly can. And I can remember when she wanted a baby and she was single. I honestly can remember experiencing her as a lovely mommy. And that's what she is now. I didn't walk around chanting it. I remember when you were single. I remember when you became a mommy. No, I remember. See, I started to experience what's it like with her having a kid. Whoa. Meanwhile, the I can't remember when method. I honestly can't remember when my elbow's healed, because here's the deal. When you start nailing stuff, you don't give it a second thought. If thoughts created things, thinking about having money, not having money would do something. Experiencing what implies money's no problem does something. Jess asked about sleep for a friend, right? And I love this one because I put up, so she asked, like, what's it, what would you imagine? See, I was going to say the wrong thing. What would you imagine? That implies that you slept all night without having to get up and pee. And I almost said this. Listen to this episode a few times. What's it like? What's it like? What's it like being able to pay your bills a year in advance? Find out. Next time you get a bill, just take a moment and remember when getting that quarterly or that monthly bill would stress you out, and then experience what it's like to just pay it for a year. I remember years ago, I'd get a 10% discount on that, my car insurance or something. I forget what it was. And I thought, that's crazy cool. Because if I leave my money in the bank, I get 2%. If I pay the car insurance in full for a year, I get 10%. Problem, I don't have enough money to pay the car insurance for a year. And then I started living differently. And here's the big thing, ready? You remember when she was single by imagining her married. Direct quote. You don't walk around chanting, I remember when. You remember when she was single by imagining her married. What would you experience if your wish were fulfilled? I just got a notification that my firewall is due on the main website. All right, cool. See, I don't go, where's the money coming from? I just go, how can I pay this early? Because they say it's going to come out of my account on the 14th of April. So, radio, how can I pay this early? Can I go in there and just click that and be done with it? Because I'm a click it and done with it kind of guy. You hear it? Alrighty. In Dream Driven Day, we call this the attitude of Abdullah. In ManifestingMasteryCourse.com, we share speedy is simple and simple is speedy. Keep it simple. Don't chant for hours. Just have a different experience. I remember when she was single by imagining her married. Anywho. So way back in the old days, Victoria did the heavy lifting in the garden. I'd be doing work on the computer. She'd be out here doing the heavy lifting. Because she functions on Victoria time. And I told her one day, you know what? Why don't we spend some money and get you some muscle? And so we've got 2 people that come and help her in the garden on a routine basis. See, I started remembering whenever she did the hard work. Because I'm really not interested in doing that anymore. I remembered when she was doing the hard work by imagining her making lists. Hey, here's Timmy's list. Here's Karsten's list. Anything you think I should put on the list? Yeah. I need them to help me with this. All right? I'll do my part, but it doesn't involve the heavy lifting anymore. And it's funny because when the kid's here, I go, yep, I remember being that kid doing the heavy lifting. I look back at it with nostalgia. If you got gold today, here's what I want you to do. EasyManifestingMethods.com. Go there, sign up for them. Check your spam, your promotions for the confirmation email if you don't see it in your inbox. Drag it there and click the link. If you have problems, let me know. Always glad to help. Meanwhile, that'll give you the daily emails. That'll give you the 7 cool little lessons dripped out one a day, little videos. Rock your world, change your life, do this right. I'm not a fan of people chanting for hours. Next, I remember when I didn't have a podcast done today, right? You get how ridiculous that is? I could sit here in the portable, the disposable, and go, I remember when I didn't have a podcast done. I remember when I didn't have a podcast done. I remember when I didn't. Or I could feel what it's like. I could actually experience what it's like to have had done a fantastic podcast and anticipate your emails. And you're registering for things like ManifestingMasteryCourse.com. Go read a couple hundred, maybe a couple thousand success stories. Notice that it's only $1 a day. It takes about 15 minutes. Notice that we're into eliminating excuses. Because at the end of the day, you're going to go, hey, oh my God, it was excellent. Or you're going to go, hey, I got another stack of excuses to put in the bullshit bucket. ManifestingMasteryCourse.com. If you want the opportunity to do some really cool stuff in Dream Driven Day, drop me an email. And finally, go play. Remember when she was single by imagining that she's married. Remember when you used to put things off, like, oh my God, I can't justify spending $100 in today's economy. Well, what about tomorrow's? Well, what about next year? What about when you're 90? When I'm 64. All right, dive in, dive deeper, have fun. Sharing is caring. See ya.